I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but are we back? Oh no, I'm not going to get stuck in this vortex of we're so cooked and we're so back. We're not, it's not what we're doing. No, 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 no. Bertuzzi hat trick though. Ah, screw it, we're so back. Let's go Hawks, baby!
Blackhawks haven't been a good state for a while. And to that I say, yeah, a lot of their games this season were hard. Pieces are there. Blackhawks fans need to chill, be patient, and everything will work out in the end.
Welcome to Blackhawks Central. Well, that was an eventful game. Well, if you're seeing this in the morning, it's because I went to sleep last night after that game ended. Because, oh boy, 9 o'clock games, not it. Ay, ay. So, this is an early morning upload here, so yeah, we'll get into the game. One, what a what a game. I can't say too much positive about it besides that third period, but oh boy, Hawks win 5-2 over the Vancouver Canucks on the fourth game of this road trip in Vancouver. And yep, that's what you expect to happen after a few spankings the last 3 games. Gotta hope that this Hawks team responds, and they sure did. They sure did respond in a good way. Um, let me jump into this here. Yeah, the game was scoreless for a good while. Oh, I guess I should mention off the top of my head, first time beating Vancouver since 2021 in general. So we'll take that. 11 straight losses to this team. Thank God we finally get one. Um, but yeah, I think this game was very, very close. I think a lot of back and forth, especially first 2 periods. I think we were getting outshot, but we weren't getting outchanced, which is what I couldn't say about this team in Edmonton or in Seattle. I think both of those games were just poor outings, and I genuinely couldn't defend that this team then because we got too caught into playing them like they wanted to how they would play us. So, uh, yeah, we got outchanced both of those games. But tonight, I'd say even though we got heavily outshot, we were never outchanced. We had a good amount of opportunities ourselves to score. We just need to work on burying them. Uh, I I can remember the plays, but I can't remember the players of what a few chances we had. Bedard needs to find that back of the net. It's another game where he could have easily had 5 goals, but I'll give Kevin Lankin in this for the first 2 periods. He looked like Marty Broder. I don't know what it is, but whenever this guy plays the Blackhawks, he turns into like the best goalie in the world for some reason, except for that third period, which we'll get to in a bit here. Um, Again, another game where the penalties just didn't land the Blackhawks' way. We only got one power play tonight, which is part of that third period, which I'll get to. Power play did go for one though, so I'll take that. I mean, it's just a small sample size, so I won't take too much out of that. I think the Blackhawks power play still struggles a good amount, and honestly struggled tonight. It's just that we did get the one on the board, but that was because of a certain player on the ice who's pretty, two certain players on the ice that looked pretty hot tonight. Connor Bedard, for one, had a game in front of his hometown crowd. Connor Bedard played pretty nuts tonight. Like I said, he easily could have had 5 goals. I think had he was buzzing. He wanted to look for that goal early, especially in the first 2 periods. He created plenty of chances, and yeah, definitely created those chances. Just needs to figure out how to bury them. So Bedard, really good game. I think he also played well defensively. Obviously, our top line right now is our line that's looking offensively, and it's looking pretty good. The second line, I'm seeing more out of than what I have the past few games on this road trip, which is good because that's what you want to see. Obviously, a certain player on that line had a standout game that I've slandered in my past 2 videos, but we'll get into that. And then the third, fourth line, I think the fourth line with Doc, Foligno, and I think it's the rotating door of whoever. They just kept getting hemmed in the zone. Like they would get opportunities in the O zone, and they just couldn't do anything about it. Like it was basically a non-chance at most points. So think they just need to figure out what to do with that line. Doc needs to get his energy back. I think he needs to be playing with someone who can control the puck better because he's getting hemmed in the zone with whoever's partner is. Fliggy, I think it was tonight. So I think they just need to figure that out. And the third line had some good looks. Moore played quite well, I think. He's been pretty good since being called up. I think he's an NHL player. So what I'm seeing from him is good. And then Donato had a solid night, and Mikheyev also had a solid night. A lot of solid nights. To be fair, I didn't see much out of them in the first two periods, but once we got to that third period, a lot of players turned up. Um, yeah, the penalty kill looked pretty good tonight. Didn't let in a power play goal for Vancouver, so the PK did solid work tonight. There was one scary moment there in the second where it looked like Vancouver scored, Drew O'Connor, but you could easily see that he definitely pushed Knight over. I know he's probably just catching his balance, but he literally goes like this, pushes off Knight, and Knight just falls flat on his back, like a starfish kinda. But goal gets called back. Good first successful challenge by Blashill there. Shocked that it actually came back our way because of how the refs have been acting towards the Blackhawks this year. But I think that was obviously goaltender interference, and I would be amiss to say if that didn't get called back about the Bertuzzi goal last time out. So glad that came back, and then yeah, through first two periods, pretty solid play, back and forth, 0-0 going into the third, and then in the third period, the Blackhawks finally break the tie, and it's Bertuzzi from Grizzlick and Murphy from a point shot from Grizzlick. He's sitting right on the back door, and he directs it right in against Lankinen, and it's 1-0 Hawks from there. Bertuzzi, unreal game or unreal third period. I don't think he had a really very good first two periods, but the third period, everything that he just directed on net just kind of went in. And I mean, I've signed him in the past few games, and honestly, I can't really take back what I've said. I think he still is. He Blashill said that he thinks that he works hard out there, gets the puck, and to a degree, he's right. But Bert needs to work on his skating and work on his puck handling because both of those are still piss poor. Um, I won't go too much in on him because this was his standout game, but like he needs to figure his stick handling and skating out a bit because it's just not where it needs to be. Second goal is on the power play. Bertuzzi again from Bedard getting his first point in Vancouver, and Levshinov getting his sixth assist of the season, which is, again, Levshinov, he's looking solid. He's starting, he's gained his confidence, and now he's playing how we expected him to play. He's starting to develop, and defensemen, they take longer to develop, so, like, let's chill with the Demidov Levshinov comparisons. Levshinov will get there. He's just young. He's going to get that first goal. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But Levshinov, he's been gaining confidence, and I think he's been playing really well since then. They're starting to put more confidence in him, and I think they're starting to take the training goals off and giving him more ice time. He manned the power play one there, and I think that's the first power play where I've seen Levshinov play the style of hockey that we expected of him. Um, yeah, I think he played pretty solid. I think he's starting to creep into that uh, RD1 over Rinzel because Rinzel's had a bit of a stinker recently. Hasn't been playing abysmal, but he's not hit the ceiling that we all thought he had. So maybe that's due to some lingering injury that he's sustained from some of these hits he's taken early in the season, but it's to be seen. And then Crevier, Kaiser. Kaiser played like it's Kaiser hockey. Like he's easily our best, one of our best defensemen every night. Classic solid night. I think Vasa and Crevier. I don't think they had stinkers exactly, but they just weren't noticeable, and you want them to be a bit more noticeable on the ice considering their size. They didn't do anything that like outright bad I would say, but I mean, you just want to see specifically a bit more from either of them. And then Murphy Grizzlick. I mean, they got their points on the Bertuzzi goal, but I already said like my piece on them. I don't think they're good. I don't think they're good. I don't think they played outright bad. I don't think they played outright good tonight. I think they just played all right. And at this rate of the season, and with how young this defense core is getting, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. Third goal, Ilya Mikheyev from Ryan Donato and Oliver Moore. Moore does a great job digging the puck and winning the battle behind the net. Gets it to Donato, who gives it to Mikheyev, who makes a greasy move to the inside, and or sorry, Donato makes a greasy move inside. Gets bumped out to Mikheyev, who just fires it home, sellies the hell out of it, and it's 3-0 Hawks. Mikheyev, I've already said my piece. Great penalty killer. He's starting to show why he's also a great offensive piece to a lot of the Blackhawks faithful. This Mikheyev guy's pretty good. I think he got the jump to him. Also, mind you, this is all three of those goals so far have happened within 4 or 5 minutes of each other. Like the Mikheyev goal came shortly after the Bertuzzi power play goal, and then another 4 minutes later. All these goals happened with 8 minutes between them. Bertuzzi gets another one from Crevier and Donato, where the puck just kind of comes out to him. Everyone's flying on their back, just plays it over them in the goal. Pots the hat trick. Hats off to Bertuzzi for just giving us the energy to put stuff into the back of the goal. I've already said my piece on Bertuzzi earlier. Don't think I'll call this exactly a good game. Just everything he kind of fired on net in the third kind of just went in, and I don't know if that's to the positive of him or just the negative of the Canucks. So yeah, and then Bertuzzi with the hat trick. So 4-0 Hawks, and at this point, I think the Canucks were shooting the Hawks like 42 to like 20, like something unreal like that. And then the Nucks push at 4 minutes remaining. Radi from P.O. Joseph pots one, just a bad one from Knight. It kind of just goes in. Barely no reaction. He kind of just watches it, and you're just sitting there like there goes the shutout. Because you wanted, I think, especially once we got into the last 5 minutes, you're like, okay, Hawks, like just it's 4-0. Let's hold off that shutout for Knight, but they just get a nice rush. Roddy is a nice shot, but Knight just kind of watched it go. So, and then 2 minutes later, Evander Kane from Hughes and Willander, another one where it's just like, well, like the Hawks were already up 4-2. They empty the net, and Kane just gets a nice shot, beats Knight again. You want Knight to get those, but kind of just goes past them. 4-2. At that point, the Nucks were really pushing to see if they can get up to tie them at four. But with just a few seconds, like 40 seconds remaining on the clock, Knight sends one down up to Bedard. Bedard pots the empty net. Knight with the assist, and that seals it 5-2 for the Hawks. Bedard with his first goal in front of the Vancouver crowd. Obviously not how he wanted to get it, but he'll take whatever he can. Gets a goal and an assist on the night. Bertuzzi 3 goals. Donato had 2 assists. Yeah. Knight ends up 43 for 45, 956 save percentage. That's nasty. That'll do good for his save percentage. Lankinen 23 for 27, 852. Not so great for his save percentage. So Hawks play a solid game tonight. As Ninja said, I think we're so back, but the next few games are against Calgary, which should be an easy win. I mean, I don't think we should take them for granted, however, but Calgary, I don't like how our results went against them last year, but we'll see. Calgary's had poor starts this season. Chicago's had a really good start this season. This is really a good momentum booster. If we can figure out Wolf, like we figured out Lankinen tonight, I think we should have a solid game. Just hope we don't get hellebucked again or wolfed. But after that, it's Detroit and Kaner. So yeah, interesting schedule upcoming. Should be a few winnable games. Hoping, fingers crossed. But yeah, we'll end off there. Like, comment, subscribe. If you really liked it, share with your friends. It would really help me out. And Hawks again. They're sucks 6-5-3. I think we're only a point out of the wild card. As the longer we stay out on this wild card, the longer the looks that Cal Davidson will make it some players to trade for. So I think we're in a solid position right now, and yeah, we'll get it done. Alrighty, peace out, Blackhawkers.